Hey, it's Craig from OCR Aviation. Today we thought we'd do a maintenance-focused video specifically on the Citation Mustang. We have two airplanes in the hangar here that have two separate structural issues. One's got an issue with a cracked rib on the engine pylon. Second one's got a door frame issue. So let's jump in and take a look at what we're going to do to get these airplanes flying again. This is Scott, one of our maintenance technicians. This is an airplane that a customer of ours bought and brought it to us. They've only owned it for a few months, and we did the first inspection. Scott did the inspection. It's just one of the visual inspections, and we found on the other side a crack in the skin, which is concerning, caused us to have to look further, pulled off the pre-cooler and the screen. What Scott found was the rib that goes in here, this way, was cracked. After finding that, we decided it would be prudent to look at the other side, and what we did is and found that this side was cracked as well. We have an engineering firm we use for this, so we went to them and asked for an approved repair for it, and we've gotten that now, and now Scott's in the process of fixing both sides, and we'll have Scott walk us through what we had to do to fix the repair.
So first I had to go and drill out the old existing rib, and then we were able to buy a new rib, and I located the holes on it, and I'm going to install that. And then the engineering firm came back and said that instead of the really small doubler that was right here, they wanted us to beef it up and put a bigger doubler both on the top and the bottom instead of just the bottom. So that way the whole structure of the rib assembly is a lot stronger. So no more cracks from now on.
Once you get that rib off, how long does it take you to get that repair done?
Typically about 4 hours.
I think the interesting thing will be on this fleet of airplanes to see if this is a common thing. We haven't seen it on any other airplanes. You know, we work on a lot of Mustangs. This is the first one we've seen it, but it's
first time.
Certainly something that we're going to add to our, closer inspection. Obviously, a crack in the skin was the big telltale, but it'll be interesting to see if we look closer at other airplanes without the skin crack to see if these ribs are cracked.
More ribs are.
So we've actually there's a form that send into Textron that makes them aware of certain things, and we've done that. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if this turns into something that's common amongst the fleet. Now we're back on the side. This is the original side where the original crack was here, and this is Scott's already completed the repair. You can see the large double here actually covers where that crack was, and then the additional doublers on the top, primered, now ready to put the rest of the thing back in and get it back to the customer hopefully here in the next couple days. Okay, I'm in front of another Mustang. I'm here with Dane. Dane is another one of OCR's aircraft mechanics. Does a lot of work for us on the jets, turboprops. This is a Mustang that's a higher time Mustang. It's over 10,000 hours. There's not a lot of Mustangs on the market out there that have that many hours. It's on the higher time. The airplane has some inspections that are required once the airplane gets to that higher time. So a lot of their inspections are just based on monthly calendar, but there are some inspections that are based on time on the airframe. One of them is an NDT inspection on the door frame. This customer had that inspection done. You can see around this red circle, the NDT showed a crack right here between that hole and that other rivet. The NDT inspection said it's there. It went through Cessna, and then what does Cessna say?
So Cessna, basically, they don't really have a specific repair for this procedure, and they don't also have the part available. So the customer had to salvage or find a salvage plane and cut off the lower section of the door frame.
They didn't have a repair, so ultimately what they said is you have to replace the structure.
Replace the entire component.
What, like Dane said, is they don't sell the component. So this actual piece of structure, the only way to fix it was either wait for Cessna to make it, which who knows if that's going to happen anytime soon, or like Dane said, go repair it. Go find a salvage one. And then so what we see here is has the water barriers removed. That's all that's been removed now, right? There's the water barrier and the floor.
Well, just to even remove the water barrier, we also have to remove the majority of the interior, the lower cabin wall, upper cabin wall, and the upper headliner also has to be removed, just to be able to remove all the plastic lining for the door frame as well. And then we also have to remove the channel in here, all these cherry lock rivets and high lock rivets, all of that is going to be removed for this lower quadrant of the door frame.
This is the salvage piece. The customer was able to find an airplane that was salvaged and had them cut out the structure on a salvaged airplane. This piece right here is the piece we're aiming for. So our structures person is in the process of getting this out and then making sure that it's going to fit. So here's some of the structure that came out. He uses a template. It's important to verify that the holes line up. Why is that important?
So this is what he's going to use as the template, because this came off of this existing piece. So he knows that all these holes line up with the piece that we need to take off.
So he'll take this to the actual airframe and make sure that the holes from this salvage piece are going to match. He's in the process of getting this out, right?
Yeah, he's got almost all of the fasteners out. Looks like maybe only 1 or 2 left. But after that, it's just going to be the painstaking task of chiseling away sealant. You just got to sit here and kind of chisel away with a little plastic chisel and just making sure you're not damaging any of this part, because after we do get the part out, we also have to send this back out for NDT and make sure that it's also not cracked.
Once it comes back clean, then this will get reinstalled in that airframe. Obviously, after we get that out.
Correct.
And what we probably have already, 20 or 30 hours in this thing, and it's,
looking like it, yeah. It's going to be
a lot. I mean,
a lot more.
And it's an interesting one. It's we showed the little teeny crack. It's a lot for a little crack, but this is what the manufacturers required. The owner got an extension for a little bit of time, but they pretty much said now you need to replace it.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing that's going to get the airplane back flying. I know we've never done it. I'm guessing this might be the first repair of this type in the
first I've heard
in the Mustang line. The crew is going to do it right, but it's not cheap, and I don't hope this on any other customer. But once he gets back in, the airplane will be strong, ready to go, and most importantly, legal for the customer to fly. So, that's where we are. It's another interesting one that, truthfully, I hope we don't ever see again. Thanks for jumping in with us today and looking at these, what I think are 2 interesting maintenance items on a Citation Mustang. The engine pylon one, I suspect that we're going to find more of those in the coming months, years on that airplane. It's not a huge fix, especially now that we already have the engineering report, something that can be done. I have a suspicion that we're going to see more of those. Then the door frame issue, I hope we don't see it. I hope other people don't see it. Like I said, it's a higher time airframe. It's a lot of work that I don't suspect we're going to see much of that. That's my hope, at least. If you have any questions on Citation Mustangs, we maintain a bunch of them, those in the M2 whole 525 line. Any questions, love to hear from you. We maintain them, we manage them, we fly them, we help people buy and sell them. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for jumping in.